Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, bringing you the end of Chapter 7 in my Killzone 3 Elite Difficulty video walkthrough. Now, I failed to say in the last video that this level is called Reckoning, for anybody wanting to know the name. And right now, this is a really ballsy push, but it really works, and it works every time. This is a really challenging fight if you try and push it from the right, because it's got a bunch of endless spawns and it's just not fun at all. But if you run straight away as soon as you come in to where I just did, when that dude brings his leg up, there'll be a bunch of Helghast, but they'll all flee, you won't get damaged too much, and now you're on this corner and they're all looking at your buddies, and you can sneak up these stairs and get this bit over and done with super quickly, because this must have took me on veteran maybe 40 minutes. I died about 5 times because it takes so long to keep cleaning out the enemies, especially when they keep spawning. But if you can push this really quickly, you won't allow them to have the spawns that they're doing when you're at a distance. And if you're behind this box, you are safe to a degree, but be careful, they can rush you and you will die super quickly. So play intelligently, make sure you kill the biggest threats, and just pray like I do right now that they're shooting at my buddies, and they are. And just keep cleaning them up. As soon as you see a break in the spawns, push to your left. Make sure you've got your light machine gun on so you can spray from the hip a ton of bullets and keep yourself alive. And if you do it successfully, you'll have no trouble with this section of the game. And this is potentially one of the harder bits, because there's a lot of enemies, they're at a much better advantage than you. And it's a bad checkpoint, because the checkpoint is all the way back before I even ran down to this position. It's nowhere near the steps. It's a frustrating moment if you don't do it correctly, but this is a really, really good technique I found. And this gun is a good gun, but it's such a pain in the ass to fire sometimes because it's so inaccurate. Look at that. If I weren't so close to being dead then, oh my goodness. That's that moment where you nearly fill your pants while you're waiting for your life to regenerate. But luckily enough, you don't get a cheeky grenade like that. And I managed to push out. There's nobody here, so no more can spawn. There's that guy there. That guy's one of mine. And look at that. 2 minutes to clear out an area that you can be stood shooting in 10 minutes. That is the best strategy for this level. And I always grab this beast because I like it. And I'm a vandal. So make sure you pick up the heavy machine gun when you carry on. It doesn't matter because the rest of this level is an on-rail section of you shooting at the mauler to take out its gun arm. So it's not exactly the most challenging of stuff, but it's still fun, and it looks nice. It looks really nice. But yeah, I should probably take this time to speak about some things when it comes to my PS3, because I've been getting a lot of addies on my PS3, and I only had about 4 friends on the thing before, because I'm not the big friends list kind of guy that a lot of people are. Like on my Xbox 360, I only had for a long time maybe about 15 friends, and every single one of them I knew, because when I get a friend invite, if the person doesn't send messages, if the person, you know, doesn't actually try and interact with me, then I delete them. And it's nothing personal, it's just a case of, if you've invited to be my friend, it's like every so often we should probably game together, because that's kind of what it's all about. If you just sat there, you're like a dead subscriber, and that's just no use to anybody. And somebody else who actually does want to say, hey dude, do you want to play some Black Ops sometime, or do you want to do this sometime, can take that space instead. So if you find yourself getting deleted off a friends list, it's purely because there's been no interaction. You're just a voice in a crowd. And as for PS3 goes, I don't actually have a mic. I don't know if my Turtle Beach headsets will work with it, because there's another version of the Turtle Beach that's exclusively for the PS3, so I don't know if there's like a hardware conflict there. But I don't have a Bluetooth mic for it, so multiplayer on PS3 is probably going to be silent for me in many regards, until I get one. But I will be interested in playing some Killzone 3 online, some Resistance 3 maybe, when that comes out. Even Resistance 2, because Resistance 2 still got the best co-op multiplayer online I've ever played. I thought that was absolutely genius, and they're taking it out of the third game. In fact, they're taking so much out of the third game, it's unfucking real. But on this section here, shoot the turrets. If you don't shoot the turrets, they will hurt you really, really quickly, so focus on the turrets. You'll see them pop out of the little covers, and it's just a case of dropping some fire to stop them. And then you have to destroy the arm, so it's dead simple. But I don't know if you guys are the same as me, but the more I see about Resistance 3, the less I like. It's weird. It's like, my favourite Resistance game is the first one. I thought it was brilliant. I liked how arcadey it was. I liked how it was less about cover and more about strafing. I liked all the ridiculous weapons. I liked the colour palettes, how it was all neutrally and all oppressive. And I liked the weapons, I liked the enemies, I thought it was cool. The second one came out and they did kind of change it. They made it a lot more modern. They made it, you know, appeal to the Call of Duty generation, and it was still a good game. It was nothing on the first one, but the guns looked nice, the environments looked nice, there was interesting stuff. It was cool. Weaker but cool. And now the third one seems to almost have forgotten everything the second one did. And don't get me wrong, I like the first one, and I'm glad they're going back to that kind of, you know, aesthetic, but it looks garbage. Like the guns. This is the only Resistance I've seen where the guns themselves don't look cool. Like the marksman. The marksman looked so badass on Resistance 2. The only problem with it is it was like a battle rifle, so when you scoped in, it literally took your view away from you and you had the lens, and I wasn't a big fan of that. But the new one, it just looks like somebody stuck some Lego on top of it and get it an iron sight, and it looks crap. I really don't like it. And the Bullseye's iron sight as well, that looks garbage too. The old Bullseye iron sight was sexy, I loved it. And I just keep seeing these things that are right putting me off. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to buy it the day it comes out because I love the series, but this is the first Resistance I've seen that I can honestly say I don't like the look of the weapons, and Resistance lives and dies by its weapons, so I'm praying that the upgrade system makes them look cooler, because apparently each weapon upgrades twice and maybe they'll look nicer. But that's the end of Reckoning. I'll see you guys in the final level. You take care now.